Namaskar, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, students and scholars, teachers and trainers, professors, professionals, official listener learners. I welcome all respected doctors and directors. I welcome honorable ministers and managers. I welcome honorable advocates, advertisers, administrators and advisors. I welcome the most honorable President Prime Minister Modi ji. It is really nice time, nice place, nice action that you are listening. Arif Rakesh from USA. Let's explain today universal, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. To what extent these are adopted in the Indian Constitution? The Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which is also called as International Human Rights Declaration Letter. Justice Letter Paint considers it an important incident in his book International Law and Human Rights. It is an historical event. It is a historical event and great achievement of United Nations Union. When United Nations Union was established in 1945, then a charter was prepared for it. According to Article 68 of Charter, for the preparation of format of protection of human rights, a Human Rights Commission was constituted in 1946, headed by Srimati Eleanor Roosevelt. This commission prepared a Universal Declaration in June 1948, which was adopted on 10th December, is known as Human Rights Day. Human Rights Declaration Letter 1948 has total 30 articles. The International Declaration Letter includes all the points living a life with dignity, like every person is born free and are equal in respect and rights. Every person has verdict power and conscience. Every person has verdict power and conscience. They must have harmony among themselves. Every person has right to life, liberty, and security. No person shall be kept as slave or bounded. Every person is equal before law. No person shall be treated with inhumanity, or no person shall be given cruel punishment. Every person has to right to freedom of expression of thoughts, freedom to travel, peaceful assembly, business, work, etc. Every person should have proper opportunity of development of physical, mental or intellectual. Every person has right to education and primary education should be free. Every person has right to property and disposition of it. Accused shall not be considered as guilty till allegation is not confirmed. Every person should have proper opportunity for hearing. No one shall be arbitrary arrest or detention or exile. Equal pay for equal work. Right to marry and to found a family without any limitation due to race, nationality, or religion. Every person shall use his rights and freedoms without interfering the rights and freedom of others. The main chapter of Public Declaration of Human Rights says following Article 1. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. Article 2 says everyone is entitled to all the rights and the freedoms set forth in this declaration without distinction of any kind, such as race, color, sex, language, religion, political and other opinion. Further, no distinction shall be made on the basis of the political, jurisdictional, or international status of the country or territory to which a person belongs, whether it be independent, trust, self-governing, or under any other limitation of sovereignty. Article number 3 says every has the right to life, liberty, and security of a person. Article 4 says no one shall be held in slavery or servitude. Slavery and the slave trade shall be prohibited in all their forms. Article 5 says no one shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. Article 6 says everyone has the right to recognition everywhere as a person before the law. Article 7 expresses all are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the law. All are entitled to equal protection against any discrimination in violation of this declaration and against any incitement to such discrimination. Article 8 says everyone has the right to an effective remedy by the competent national tribunals for acts violating the fundamental rights granted him by the Constitution or by law. Article 9 declares, expresses, no one shall be subjected to arbitrary arrest, detention or exile. Article 10 says everyone is entitled in full equality to a fair and public hearing by any independent and independent and impartial tribunal. In the determination of his rights and obligations and of any criminal charge against him, Article 11.1 says everyone charged with a penal offence has the right to be presumed innocent until proved guilty according to law in a public trial at which he has had all the guarantees necessary for his defense. Article 2.2 says no one shall be held guilty of any penal offence on account of any act or omission which did not constitute a penal offence under national or international law at the time when it was committed, nor shall a heavier penalty be imposed than the one that was applicable at the time the penal offence was committed. Article 12 says, no one shall be subjected to arbitrary interference with his privacy, family, home, or correspondence, nor to attacks upon his honor and reputation. Everyone has a right to the protection of the law against such interference or attacks. Article 13 expresses 1.1 says everyone has the right to freedom of movement and residence within the borders of his state. Everyone has a right to leave any country, including his own, and to return to his country. Article 14 says, point 1, everyone has the right to seek and to enjoy in the country's asylum from prosecution. Article number 14, number 2 says the right may not be invoked in the case for prosecutions generally arising from non-political crimes or from formats contrary to the purpose and principles of the United Nations. Article 15.1 says everyone has a right to a nationality. Point number 2 says no one shall be arbitrarily deprived of his nationality or denied the right to change his nationality. Article 16.1 says men and women of full age without any limitations due to race, nationality, or religion have the right to marry and to found a family. They are entitled to equal rights as to marriage, during marriage, and at its dissolution. Point number 2 says marriage shall be entered into only with the free and full consent of the intending spouses. According to point number 3, the family, if the natural and fundamental group unit of society and is entitled to protection by society and the state. Article 1, Article 16, there is some point of Article 1. Article number 1 says everyone has the right to own property alone as well as in association with others. No one shall be arbitrarily deprived of his property. Article 18 says everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience and religion. The right includes freedom to change his religion or belief and freedom either alone or in community with others and in public or private to manifest his religion or belief in teaching, practice, worship and observance. Article 9 says everyone has the right to freedom of opinion. and expression. This right includes freedom to hold opinion without interference and to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas to any media and regardless of frontiers. Article 21 says everyone has the right to freedom of peaceful assembly and association. Article 20, point number 2 says no one may be compelled to belong to an association. Article 21, point number 1 says everyone has the right to take part in the government of his country directly or through freely chosen representatives. Its point number 2 says everyone has the right of equal access to public service in his country. Point number 3 says the will of the people shall be the basis of the authority of government. This will shall be expressed in periodic and genuine elections, which shall be by universal and equal suffrage. Article 22 says everyone as a member of society has the right to social security and is entitled to realization through national efforts and international cooperation and in accordance with the organization and resources of each state of the economic, social, cultural rights indispensable for his dignity and the free development of the personality. Article 23, point number 1 says everyone has the right to work, to free choice of employment, to just and favorable conditions of work, and to protection against unemployment. Point number 2 says Article 23 everyone without any discrimination has the right to equal pay for equal work. Article 23, point number 3 says every who works has the right to just and favorable remuneration, ensuring for himself and his family an existence worthy of human dignity and supplement, if necessary, by other means of social protection. Article 24 expresses everyone has the right to rest and leisure, including reasonable limitation of working hours and periodic holidays with pay. Article 25 1 says everyone has a right to a standard of living adequate for the health and being of himself and of his family, including food, clothing, housing, and medical care, and necessary social services, and the right to security in the event of unemployment, sickness, disability, widowhood, old age, or other lack of livelihood in circumstances beyond his control. Motherhood and childhood are entitled to special care and assistance. All children, whether born in or out of wedlock, shall enjoy the same social protection. Article 26 1 says, point number 1 says, everyone has the right to education. Education shall be free, at least in the elementary and fundamental stages. Elementary education shall be compulsory, technical and professional education shall be made generally available, and higher education shall be equally accessible to all on the basis of merit. Article 26, point number 2 says education shall be directed to the full development of the human personality and to the strengthening of respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms. It shall promote understanding, tolerance, and friendship among all nations, racial or religious groups, and shall further the activities of the United Nations for the maintenance of peace. Article 26, point number 3 says parents have a prior right to choose the kind of education that shall be given to their children. Article 27.1 says everyone has the right to freely to participate in the cultural life of the community, to enjoy the arts and to share in scientific advancement and its benefits. This point number 2 says everyone has the right to the protection of the moral and material interest resulting from any scientific, literary, or artistic production of which he is author, and art or artistic production of which he is the author. Article 28 says everyone is entitled to a social and international order in which the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration can be fully realized. Article 29 1 says everyone has duties to the community in which alone the free and full development of his personality is possible. Article 29, point number 2 says in the exercise of his rights and freedoms, everyone shall be subject only to such limitations as determined by law solely for the purpose of securing due recognition and respect for the rights and freedoms of others and of meeting the just requirements of morality, public order, and the general welfare in democratic society. Article 29, point number 3 says, these rights and freedoms may in no case be exercised contrary to the purposes and principles of the United Nations. Article 30 says nothing in this declaration may be interpreted as implying for any state, group or person any right to engage in any activity or to perform any act aimed at the restriction of any of the rights and freedoms set forth herein. These all human rights are in part 3rd of Constitution of India as fundamental rights. Name of the rights, Universal Declaration, Indian Constitution. Equality before law. Article 7. Indian Constitution. It is mentioned in Indian Constitution Article 14. Name of the right is Prohibition of Discrimination. Universal Declaration. In Universal Declaration we find it in Article 7. In Indian Constitution we find it Article 15.1. Equality of opportunity. Name of the right is equality of opportunity. We find it in Article 21.2 of the Universal Declaration and Article 16.1 we find in Indian Constitution. Freedom of speech and expression, it is the name of the right. and we find it in Article 19. In Indian Constitution, we find it in 19(1)(a). Freedom of peaceful assembly. Article 21. Article 21. In Indian Constitution, we find it Article 19(1)(b). Right to form associations or unions. Article 23. For we find it in Universal Declaration. And Article 19(1)(c) we find it in Indian Constitution. Freedom of movement within the order, we find it in Article 13(1), and in Indian Constitution, we find it in Article 19(1)(d). Protection in respect of conviction for offences. Article number 11(2). In Universal Declaration we find it, and in Indian Constitution we find it in Article 21. Protection of life and personal liberty. Name of the right is Protection of Life and Personal Liberty. We find it in Universal Declaration, Article number 11(2). In Article C. And Indian Constitution, we find it in Article 21. Protection of slavery and forced labor. Name of the right is Protection of slavery and forced labor. We find it in Article 4, Universal Declaration. And in Indian Constitution, we find it Article 23. Name of right is Freedom of Conscience and Religion. We find it in Universal Declaration in Article 18. And in Indian Constitution, we find it Article 25(1). Remedy for enforcement of rights. The name of the rights we find in Article 8 in Universal Declaration, and in Indian Constitution we find it in Article 32. Let's describe Human Rights Commission. The main part of the United Nations Economic and Social Council has direct relation with human rights for the development or recreation of human rights under Article 68 of United Nations Charter to the establishment of Economic and Social Council. And on its consequences, Human Rights Commission was established. It was accepted by United Nations General Assembly on 12th February 1946. The Commission was established to help Economic and Social Council. It had total 18 members. Later, it was 21 to 31. In 1990, it had 53 members. Commission was delegated to submit their report on following: one is International Bill of Human Rights, two is Convention and International Declaration on Civil Freedoms, Situation of Women, Right to Information, and on other similar matters. Three is Protection of Minors. Four is Prohibition of Discrimination on the basis of caste, sex, language, and class. The first chairperson of the commission was Srimati Frelin D. Roosevelt. Commission started his work on January 1947. Commission worked for 60 years. On March 26, 2006, Commission was dissolved. Center for Human Rights. Human Rights Center was established in Geneva. Human Rights Center was established in Geneva to establish coordination in the activities of human rights. Its main work was to study. One point is study, two is preparation report, three is advice to government, four is to provide technical assistance. Human Rights Center does review of all the projects related to human rights of United Nations General Assembly in Vienna Declaration and Proceeding Project adopted in World Human Rights Conference 1993 emphasized to make human rights center to make human rights center powerful. In declaration, it was said that it is expected from center to integrate human rights. Human Rights Center always get ready to help the victim people from the violation of human rights. 1997, the Office of United Nations Human Rights Commissioner was merged into Human Rights Center and established a single office named United Nations Human Rights High Commissioner. Human Rights Hotline. The United Nations Human Rights High Commissioner established Human Rights Hotline in 1994. It is a 24 hours working facsimile line. It was established to allow the Office of High Commissioner for Human Rights in Geneva to monitor and react rapidly to human rights emergencies. Hotline is useful for those people who want to establish contact to the Human Rights High Commissioner's office in the important and emergency time. The hotline is available to victims of human rights violations, their relatives and non-governmental organizations. Human Rights Council, according to Human Rights Council, the establishment of Human Rights Council is the result of Conference of States in New York. It was established on 14 to 16 September 2005. On 15 March 2006 in Geneva General Assembly a resolution was passed and decision was taken to establish Human Rights Council at the place of Human Rights Commission. 47 members were in provision, whose first election was done on 9th May 2006. Human Rights Council was delegated these works. One is to provide human rights education, advisory service and technical help to member states. Two is organizing team to discuss our debate topics on human rights. Three is sending recommendation to General Assembly in the field of human rights for the development of international law. Four is promoting states to regulate human rights fully, and five is providing coordination and protection in emergencies and situation for violation of human rights. Recommendation for the creation and protection of human rights. Presenting annual report to General Assembly, cooperate and discharge other works related to the High Commissioner Office. Let's describe the objects of the Protection of Human Rights Act 1993. What are its characteristics? Let's discuss the main provisions of the Protection of Human Rights Act 1993. The Act came into force on the 28th day of September 1993, but it shall apply to the state of Jammu and Kashmir only insofar as it pertains to the matters relatable to any of the entries enumerated in List 1, List 3 in the 7th schedule of the Constitution. It received the assent of President on January 8, 1994. Earlier it was passed as an ordinance. The ordinance was issued on 28th September 1993. What are its objects? In the preamble of the Act, its objects are mentioned like an Act to constitute National Human Rights Commission, State Human Rights Commission, or Human Rights Court for the better protection of human rights and other matters related to it, such as preamble shows these objects of the Act. One is better protection of human rights, Constitution of National Human Rights Commission, is Constitution of State Human Rights Commission. What is Constitution of Human Rights Court? What are its specialties? Human Rights Protection Act 1993 is a singular legislation which has many specialties, like it is a special legislation. Its main object is protection of human rights. Its object is to constitute of National Human Rights Commission, State Human Rights Commission, or Human Rights Court. For in Section 2 has definition of human rights which includes life, liberty, equality, dignity. Section 3 to 11 has provision of Constitution of National Human Rights Commission. This commission has given legal form. Its chairperson shall be the Chief Justice of Supreme Court. Two other members may be Judge of Supreme Court or High Court. The object of Commission is to require about the suit or matters related to violation of human rights. Commission has provided powers of civil court. Proceeding to commission shall be considered as judicial proceeding. Commission can order of investigation of any matter by exploration agency. Commission can order to government or competent official regarding retribution or compensation. Order of prosecution can be given against guilty person by commission. Section 21 and 29 has description regarding constitution, powers and duties of State Human Rights Commission. Section 30 describes about the constitution of Human Rights Court. Section 31 describes about special public prosecutor, chairperson, members and officials of Human Rights Commission shall be considered as public servants. No prosecution or legal proceedings shall be done against the acts done by them in good faith, such as Human Rights Protection Act 1993 contains many specialties in itself. Main Act has 43 sections and in 2006 some amendments were done in the Act. What are human rights? Let's explain in detail. Section 2(1)(d) of Human Rights Protection Act 1993 has definition regarding human rights according to this. Human rights means the rights relating to life, liberty, equality and dignity of the individual guaranteed by the Constitution or embodied in the international covenants and enforceable by courts in India. The definition of human rights is wide and meaningful. It includes those rights which guarantee one is guaranteed by Constitution, two is embodied in international convention, three is enforceable by court. These rights are related to life, liberty, equality, and dignity. In these rights, those rights and freedoms are included which are mentioned in Constitution as fundamental rights. In other words, it can be said that human rights means those rights which are important for the safety, liberty, dignity, and respectful life. Maharashtra Housing and Area Development Authority versus Maharashtra Human Rights Commission, AIR 2010, Mumbai 104. In this matter, Mumbai High Court said the human rights are rights of human relating to their life, liberty, equality, and dignity. Khadak Singh versus State of Uttar Pradesh, AIR 1963, SC 1295. In this matter, Supreme Court decided that right to life thus means a life like animals, hence a life, dignity or respect. It also includes some freedoms along with freedoms of Article 19 of Constitution. Vimal Chaudhary versus Municipality Jaipur AIR 2004 Rajasthan 17. In this matter, Rajasthan High Court decided that right to life means a meaningful life. Person who sleeps at roads or footpaths, this act is useless for them. It is duty of municipality to arrange sanitary service for them. There can be no compromise with the life to live with dignity. The concept of living a dignityful life is increasing gradually. Many acts of routine life is getting added in human rights. CE SC Limited versus Subhash Chandra Bose 1992 is ISCC 441. Supreme Court decided that right of social justice is a fundamental right. The right of livelihood raised from the right of life and personal liberty of Article 21 of Constitution. Health of workers is a part of life and personal liberty. Sodan Singh versus Municipality New Delhi AIR 1989 SC 1988. In this matter, Supreme Court declared that it is security under Article 19(1)(z) to earn on footpath for livelihood with certain restrictions. Nirja Chaudhary versus State of Madhya Pradesh, AIR 1984 SC 1099. In this matter, Supreme Court decided that it is duty of government to free the forced labours and arrange rehabilitation. State of Maharashtra versus Alka H. Henge AIR 1998 SC 2342. In this matter, Supreme Court decided that people living in slum Jugi cannot be expelled from there immediately. They should be given proper time to arrange other place. Law Society of India versus Fertilizers and Chemicals Travancore AIR 1994 Kerala 30. In this matter, Kerala High Court decided that in right to life, right to live in a clean atmosphere is also included Clean environment is mandatory for healthy life. Shahid Makood Ali versus State of Madhya Pradesh AIR 2001 Madhya Pradesh 220. In this matter, Madhya Pradesh High Court decided that noise pollution is harmful for health, so it's it's important to control it effectively. Abhipriya Welfare Society versus Government of Andhra Pradesh AIR 2001 and Andhra Pradesh 2073. In this matter, Andhra Pradesh High Court decided that beggars are today's burning problem, but it's important to solve this problem by rehabilitation of them. State of Maharashtra versus MS Shobha K. V. Kole AIR 2006 Mumbai 44. In this matter, Bombay High Court said that right to work can be considered as fundamental right or human right if it is passed by competent legislature. Fashion proprietor Ashwani Kumar Mati versus West Bengal Electricity Distribution Corporation AIR 2009 Kolkata 87. In this matter, Kolkata High Court said that to have electricity is also included in right to life. Electricity connection is a mandatory necessity. Suchitra Srivastava versus Chandigarh Administration AIR 2010 SC 238. In this matter, Supreme Court decided that a woman's right to privacy, dignity, and bodily integrity should be respected. Indra Sharma versus VKP Sharma AIR 2014 SC 309. In this matter, Supreme Court said that domestic violence is a human rights issue. Tukaram Kana Joshi versus MIDC AIR 2013 SC 565 right to property is human rights. There are many more cases related to fundamental right or human rights. At present perspective, the birth of human rights is getting wide. All the subjects related to the basic requirement and dignity of person has included in human rights. Let's discuss the Constitution, functions and powers of the National Human Rights Commission. What is Constitution? Chapter 2 of the Act deals with the Constitution of National Human Rights Commission. Section 3 of the Section 3 of the Act lays down that the central government shall constitute a body to be known as the National Human Rights Commission, which shall have right which shall have 8 members and will be headed by one is a chairperson who has been the former Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Two is the other members of the commission may be a sitting or retired judge of the Supreme Court, a serving or a retired Chief Justice of the High Court. Two prominent persons having knowledge or practical experience in the sphere of human rights, and the chairperson of the National Commission for Minorities, the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes and Women. Although the chairperson of National Human Rights Commission is the Chief Justice of Supreme Court, so he is rich of specialist and singular personality. Paramjit Kaur versus State of Punjab AIR 1999 SC 340. Here it is provided that as a member of Commission, Director of Central Investigation Bureau can be appointed because he is a subject specialist. He cannot be considered disqualified only on the basis that most of the matter related to violation of human rights are of police. People Union for Civil Liberties versus Union of India, yeah, 2005 SC 2419. Secretary General. There shall be a Secretary General who shall be the Chief Executive Officer of the Commission and shall exercise such powers and discharge such functions of the Commission as it may delegate to him. Headquarters. The Commission shall have its headquarters in New Delhi and with the permission of the central government may establish offices in other places in India. Term of office. Section 6. The chairperson and the members shall hold office for a period of 5 years from the date on which they enter upon their office. They shall be eligible for reappointment for another term. A person can serve as the commission until the age of 70 years. After then, he shall be removed from office. The member of commission and the chairperson on being to held office shall not held other office under the government of India or government of any state. Resignation or removal. Chairperson or member of the commission can resign from his post anytime. Such resignation letter shall be self-written addressing the President of India. Chairperson and members can be removed on these grounds. One is misbehavior, two is incapacity. Other than this, chairperson and members as the is. Other than this, chairperson and may be on any such ground to be moved. One is adjudicated as insolvent. Two is when he accepts other paid employment outside. She is unfit to continue in office due to infirmity of mind or body. For is of unsound mind and stands so declared by competent courts. 5 is convicted and sentenced to imprisonment for an offence of moral turpitude, Section 5. Service condition, Section 8. The salary and allowance payable to the members and chairperson shall be such as may be prescribed. Neither the salary or the allowance shall be varied to his disadvantages after his appointment. When any retired judge is made as a member of commission, then the amount of pension shall be deducted from salary of allowances and he would not be able to get genuinity. Also, V.S. Malyam versus Union of India AIR 2001 SC 1455. Powers and functions. The functions of the Commission are laid down under Section 12 of the Act, which are as one is the Commission shall inquire suo motu or on a petition presented it to by a victim or any person or his on his behalf into complaints of one is violation of human rights or abatement thereof, two is negligence in the prevention of such violation by a public servant, The Commission took suo motu cognizance of the communal disturbance in Gujarat, commencing with the Godhra tragedy on February 27, 2007, sorry, on February 27, 2002 and its aftermath. Two is the Commission may intervene in any proceeding involving any allegation of violation of human rights pending before a court with the approval of such court. Three is the Commission shall visit under intimidation under intimation to the state government, any jail or any other institution under the control of the state government where persons are detained or lost for purposes of treatment, reinforce, reformation or protection to study the living conditions of the inmates and make recommendations thereon. The Commission shall review the safeguards provided to the Commission shall review the safeguards provided by or under the Constitution or any law for the time being enforced for the protection of human rights and will recommend measures for their effective implementation. The Commission shall review the factors. The Commission shall review the factors including acts of terrorism that inhibit exercise of one's human rights as well as the safeguards currently in force and make appropriate recommendations. The Commission shall study the treaties and other international instruments and human rights and make recommendations for their effective implementation. The Commission will undertake and promote research in the field of human rights. The Commission shall spread human rights literacy among various sections of society and promote awareness of the safeguards available for the protection of those rights through publication, the media, seminars and other available means. The Commission shall encourage the efforts of non-governmental organizations and institutions working in the field of human rights. The Commission may perform any other function as it may consider necessary for the promotion of human rights. According to Section 18, these following steps can be taken after inquiry. One is to provide compensation or relief to victim party. Two is for the prosecution of guilty person. Three is for other proper action. Here it is provided that no provisions applied on hospitals on non-action taken by public servants on violation of human rights because they are not public servants. Santosh Hospital Private Limited Chennai versus State Human Rights Commission Tamil Nadu Area 2005 Chennai 348 Powers of Commission. Section 13 describes about the power of Commission. For the discharges of duty, Commission shall have these powers. One is power of civil court, which includes to summoning witnesses and examining them on oath, the discovery and production of any document. Four is receiving evidence on affidavits. Five is requisitioning any public record or any thereof from any court or office. Five is issuing commission for the examination of witnesses or documents. Next, number 2 point is power to enter any place and search that. Power to enter any place and search that. Point number 3 says investigate any matter pertaining to the inquiry, such as National Human Rights Commission is always efforting for the protection of human rights, for the protection of Checkma refugees. National Human Rights Commission has knocked the door of Supreme Court. National Human Rights Commission versus State of Andhra Pradesh EIR 196 SC 1234. It is noticeable that after completion of 1 year of violation of human rights, no action shall be taken by Commission to inquire inquire it. Regional Cancer Center versus M. Gopalan AIR 2009 Kerala 103. Srimati K.S. Maleshwari versus Registrar State Human Rights Commission Tamil Nadu AIR 2016 Madras 99. In this matter, a complaint made after 9 years was not accepted. State of Kerala versus Human Rights Commission Thiruvananthapuram AIR 2015 Kerala 124. In this matter, court decided that Commission is not bound to send a brief complaint for investigation. It himself can inquire the matters. Let's discuss the Constitution. Discussion on the Constitution, duties or functions or powers of the state. Human Rights Commission, such as center has National Human Rights Commission, same as the state has system of State Human Rights Commission. Dilip K. Basu versus State of West Bengal AIR 2015 SC 2887. In this case, Supreme Court decided that every state shall have a Human Rights Commission. Those states which has not established Human Rights Commission should soon make arrangements to establish it. Constitution Section 21 of this Act has provision of Constitution of State Human Rights Commission for every state. According to that, following constitutes the Commission of Human Rights. One is chairperson, one chairperson and two members. Chairperson who has been a Chief Justice of a High Court and two other members shall be the person who is or had been a judge of High Court or district judge in that state, having knowledge of or practical experience in matters relating to human rights. Earlier, State Human Rights Commission had four members, including chairperson, but after Human Rights Protection Amendment Act 2006, this number has been of 3%. Secretary State Commission shall have a secretary who shall be known as Chief Executive Officer. He shall obey the powers or duties which time to time shall be given to him. Headquarter. The headquarter of the State Commission shall be at such place as the State Government may by notification specify. Appointment. The appointment of chairperson and members shall be done by governor by notification affixing his signature and stamp. Such appointment shall be done on the recommendation of a committee consisting one is Chief Minister, two is Speaker of Legislative Assembly, three is Minister in charge of the Department of Home, four is Leader of the Opposition of Legislative Assembly. Duration. All the members of the Commission shall hold office for a period of 5 years from the date of assumption of office or at the age of 70 years, whichever is earlier. The member shall be eligible for reappointment for another terms, but not the chairperson. Reappointed members shall also hold office at the age of 70 years or not more. Chairperson and members on being their post shall not hold any other post under Indian government or state government. Resignation or termination of post. Chairperson or member of state commission can resign from their post by writing by writing resignation letter addressing governor section 23. Resignation or termination of post, chairperson or members of the state commission can resign from this post by writing resignation letter to district governor. Section 23. Chairperson or members can be removed from their post on following grounds. One is misbehavior, two is incapacity, and any chairperson or member can be removed from his post on these grounds. One is when he has been declared insolvent, two is when he holds any salaried post, three is when he becomes mentally or physically incapable, four is when he has been declared mentally challenged by competent court, five is when he is found guilty of moral turpitude. Service conditions. The service condition, salary, and allowance of chairperson and members shall be such, which shall be decided by state government, but no lawful changes in salary, service condition, or allowance shall be done while being them on their post. Where any retired judge is appointed as member, there his amount of pension shall be deducted from salary and he shall not be liable to get gratuity. DM Malyam versus Union of India, AR 2001, SC 1455. Functions and powers. The function and powers of State Commission is same as powers and functions of National Human Rights Commission Section 29. In many states, State Human Rights Commission newly working for the protection of human rights. Madhya Pradesh Human Rights Commission versus State of Madhya Pradesh AR 2003, Madhya Pradesh 17. In this matter, Madhya Pradesh High Court decided that if any matter came before court by Human Rights Commission, then court cannot close his eyes on that. Human Rights Commission can bring matter of violation of human rights in court. Here it is noticeable that when any matter comes before Human Rights Commission, then Commission shall properly inquire the matter and it shall provide reasonable opportunity of hearing to the parties. Madhya Pradesh Human Rights Commission versus State of Madhya Pradesh, AIR 2002, Madhya Pradesh 239. Let's write a note on Human Rights Court. Human Rights Court. Section 30 of Human Rights Commission Act 1993 has provision regarding Human Rights Court. According to that, Human Rights Court may be set up by the state government with concurrence of the Chief Justice of the High Court by notification in the official gazette, specifying for each district a court of session to be a human rights court for the purpose of speedy trial of the offences arising due to violation of human rights. Nothing in this act shall apply if one is court of session is already specified as special court, who is any special court is constituted under the provisions of present law for such offences. Delhi के बसु वर्सेज State of West Bengal AR 2015 SC 2887. In this matter, Supreme Court decided that it is necessary to establishment human rights court in every district. It is duty of state government to take steps for the establishment of human rights court is every district. Constitution. What is constitution? It is clear from section 30 that every district shall have a human rights court and court of session is specified for this. Human rights court is constituted by state government with the concurrence of the Chief Justice of High Court by notification in the official gazette. Object and function. The main object and function of human rights court is the speedy trial of the offences arising out of violation of human rights. Provided it is provided in section 30 that no session court shall be specified as human rights court. If session court is already specified as special court or any other court is constituted under the provisions of the present law for such offences. Special Public Prosecutor. Section 31 of this Act has provision regarding Special Public Prosecutor. According to this, state government shall appoint a public prosecutor or an advocate who has been in practice as an advocate for not less than 7 years for the purpose of conducting cases in the human rights courts. Such a person shall be called a special public prosecutor. So it is clear that a special public prosecutor is appointed by state government to try the cases in human rights courts from the side of state government. An advocate is appointed as a special public prosecutor who has experience of advocacy of at least 7 years, or any public prosecutor may be appointed as a special public prosecutor. I thank all my brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, students, scholars, teachers, trainers, professors, official, additional learners. I thank all respected doctors and directors. I thank all honorable ministers and managers. I thank all honorable advocates, advisors, administrative advisors. I thank the most honorable presenter, Smoothie. Have a nice day. It is nice to see all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you.